Watch carefully and listen well. If you find this useful, please like this video and subscribe now so you won't miss the next update. Today, I will tell you clearly what is happening with the Fulani herdsmen and why many of them are being pushed out of areas they once moved through freely. Please like and subscribe as we go. It helps the channel a lot. People who raise cattle have historically moved with their animals to find water and grass. Over many years, they developed routes and patterns that communities knew. Now those movements are under pressure. In some places, herders who once walked openly with their cattle now say they are being forced to stop, to hide, or to plead for permission to move. They speak of needing the right to travel with their animals, a freedom they say is part of their work and survival. At the same time, the communities they pass through are worried. Farmers are losing crops. Families are afraid after attacks. Local vigilante groups and even some state security forces have responded. The result is a tense situation where movement is limited and everyone feels less safe. Please remember to like this video and subscribe for clear updates. I will repeat that often, so please hit the like button now. We need to be clear about the main reasons behind this change. First, the climate is not the same as before. Dry periods last longer and water sources shrink. Animals that used to graze in one place must move farther to survive. When grazing land is smaller, herds move into areas where people grow food. This causes clashes. People who grow crops see their fields damaged. They lose food and income. When a family depends on a single farm, losing a harvest is a serious problem. That is one major reason herders and farmers now clash more often. Like this video and subscribe so others can hear this explanation too. Second, population growth and changing land use put more pressure on land. Villages expand. Farms grow into places that used to be open land. Roads and towns block old paths. Fences and new buildings stop the free movement of animals. Where rules and clear grazing routes once existed, now there is confusion. Herders feel they cannot move without causing trouble. Farmers feel their crops and property are at risk. This everyday friction can quickly become violent when trust is low. Please hit like and subscribe if you find this clear and helpful. Third, weapons are more common now in many rural areas. When there are guns, conflicts become deadly very fast. Criminal groups also take advantage of weak security. Sometimes violence is not only about land or cattle. Some groups steal animals, rob travelers, or attack settlements for other reasons. That makes it hard to know who is responsible for attacks. Herders, farmers, and innocent civilians all suffer when armed groups operate in the same spaces. Subscribe and like so I can bring more updates like this. Another major point is weak governance. Where the state is not present or cannot enforce law fairly, local people form their own defense groups. These groups sometimes protect communities well, but other times they become part of the problem. Without proper oversight, they can attack people wrongly accused or take revenge. This increases anger and fuels more violence. The absence of clear, trusted law enforcement makes any conflict much harder to control. Help the channel by liking and subscribing. It allows me to continue telling this story. So what does pushed out of strength mean in this context? It means that groups who once moved openly and in numbers now find themselves unable to do so with the same freedom or confidence. Their routes are blocked, their camps are attacked. They are forced to move at night or take hidden paths. Some herders beg local authorities and community leaders to allow them to pass through without conflict. Others ask for security guarantees. When a group loses the ability to move freely in the regions they used to use, their business and way of life are at risk. At the same time, communities that have been victimized want protection and laws that stop damage to homes and farms. If you are watching and this makes sense, press like and subscribe now. It keeps the channel alive. It is important to say how people suffer in real terms. Farmers lose harvests, herders lose stock. When cattle are stolen or killed, families lose their savings. Schools close when teachers feel unsafe. Markets shrink because buyers and sellers fear traveling. Health clinics and supplies cannot reach remote areas, raising sickness and death. The human cost is huge, and it is difficult to measure in money alone. Trauma, fear, and grief remain for years. Please click like and subscribe if you want more human stories like this. What are possible steps forward that can reduce these tensions? There are practical actions that can help. First, mapping and legalizing grazing routes that are clearly marked and protected can guide where animals should move. When routes are agreed locally and supported by law, misunderstandings drop. This requires careful mapping, clear communication, and resources to maintain these corridors so they do not turn into new sources of conflict. If you agree with this, like and subscribe right now. Second, provide better support for herders to reduce the need to travel long distances. That can include better veterinary care, access to feed during dry seasons, and storage for water. If herders can keep animals healthy closer to home or on managed ranches, there will be less pressure on farmland. Programs like this need investment and long-term planning, but they can work if local leaders are involved. Like and subscribe to support more solutions-focused content. Third, strengthen community policing and ensure local defense groups are accountable. Where communities must protect themselves, they should do so with training, legal limits, and oversight, not with impunity. The goal is to protect people, not to punish without trial. This requires coordination with state authorities and independent monitoring so abuses are not allowed. If this makes sense, hit like and subscribe now. Fourth, reduce illegal weapons flow. This is a large task that requires national and regional effort. If weapons are stopped from circulating in rural areas, the number of deadly incidents will drop. Law enforcement must act, and there must be transparency so the public can trust the process. Please like and subscribe if you want more reporting on security solutions. Fifth, invest in peace building at the local level. This means mediation between farmers and herders, community dialogues, and shared projects that create mutual benefit. Examples include joint water projects, shared markets, and cooperative grazing management. When people work together on common goals, trust grows and conflicts fall. Like and subscribe to encourage more of this kind of work. Now, what can you do as an individual viewer? First, verify information before sharing. Social media spreads stories quickly. False or exaggerated claims can fuel more tension and cause panic. Check trusted sources and be careful with videos or messages that lack context. If you find this useful, please like and subscribe. Second, support humanitarian and local organizations that help displaced people. They need funds and volunteers. Helping families with food, shelter, and medical care reduces suffering and shows compassion at critical times. Like and subscribe to help spread the message of support. Third, promote calm and avoid stereotyping. Remember that not all herders or farmers are the same. Painting whole groups with one brush fuels anger and division. Encourage facts, not rumors. If you agree, press like and subscribe now. Fourth, share success stories of peaceful local solutions. When a village and herders reach a fair agreement, share it widely. These examples can guide others and show that progress is possible. Like and subscribe to help amplify good examples. We must also be honest about barriers to progress. Some local leaders resist change because of politics or personal interest. Corruption and weak institutions slow programs. Long-term funding is often missing for projects that take many years to show results. Peace building must be patient, well-designed, and inclusive. Quick fixes rarely last. Please like and subscribe if you want deeper analysis on these barriers. It is equally important to reduce hate speech and inflammatory language. Media, public figures, and local voices must be careful. Calm public discussion, supported by facts, reduces the risk of violent escalation. Channels like this one work to present clear, fair, and ad-friendly language so people can focus on solutions. If you support calm reporting, like and subscribe. Let us talk about displaced people. When communities flee their homes, the needs are immediate: shelter, food, medical care, and protection. The longer displacement continues, the harder it is for families to restart their lives. Governments and NGOs must work together to provide safe return or resettlement and to help rebuild livelihoods. That means tools, seeds, veterinary help, and sometimes cash assistance so families can regain stability. Like and subscribe to support coverage of humanitarian needs. A question many people ask is, can this conflict be solved quickly? The honest answer is no. Real, lasting solutions take time. They require careful planning, funding, and the will of political leaders. They require honest dialogue between communities. Short-term security measures can help, but long-term solutions must address the root causes: land, climate adaptation, livelihoods, law, and trust. If you want updates on long-term peace efforts, like and subscribe. Next, the role of national policy. Governments can create frameworks that protect rights, allocate land fairly, and support both herders and farmers. Laws that consider pastoralism as a valid livelihood and provide mechanisms for compensation where damage happens can reduce anger, but laws need fair application and trust. Good policy alone does not work without local implementation and oversight. Please like and subscribe if you support balanced policy discussion. Now, I will ask you directly, what do you want me to cover next? Do you want interviews with local leaders, stories from affected families, expert analysis on climate impact, or steps governments are taking? Leave your choice in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe so I know you want follow-up content. Like and subscribe now if you will leave a comment. I should also say that media and content creators must be responsible. When sharing footage or news, verify facts, avoid showing graphic violence without warnings, and be careful not to inflame tensions. Responsible reporting helps build peace. If content creators choose calm, clear, and ad-friendly language, audiences get better information and are less likely to overreact. Please press like and subscribe to support responsible reporting. Let us look at a few simple, practical community-level actions that can make a difference quickly. 1. Community mediation committees that include elders, youth, and women can resolve small disputes before they grow. 2. Local emergency hotlines connect communities to security and humanitarian help fast. 3. Simple agreements about timing and routes for seasonal movement can prevent accidental crop damage. These are not big, expensive programs. They are local actions that save lives and reduce anger. Like and subscribe if you want guides on how to start these actions. Before I end this segment, let me stress one vital idea. Dignity matters. When people feel heard and respected, they are less likely to take up arms. Programs that include voices from both herders and farmers, that treat victims fairly, and that provide real compensation when losses occur hold the best chance for peace. Trust is built slowly, but it is the strongest tool for long-term stability. If you agree with this approach, like and subscribe now.